Property taxes need to be eliminated right now. And I understand, like, property taxes go to schools, and the government uses for other things. Well, you know what? They need to find different ways to use the tax dollars that they get to fund things like schools. And schools, honestly, they need to be reformed. Not every kid should have to go to public school. It needs to evolve instead of like just going to a class for 12 years straight. A classroom or different classrooms. So we could be more pragmatic instead of just this old school way of doing things. But property taxes need to be eliminated outright. In Missouri, you have to pay for vehicles being property taxes, and everywhere else, if you buy a house, you have to pay property taxes. So essentially, you're renting the property. You don't own it outright because you have to pay the government every single year for the property taxes, and they can make those taxes as high as they want. So they could essentially, if they want to, they can take your property. They can make them so high that you can't pay those taxes, so they just come and seize your property. They are immoral. They're wrong, and you get double taxed. You should not be getting double taxed. If I buy the property, I'm getting taxed. I have to pay the government taxes to buy this property. If I sell the property, I have to pay taxes on selling the property. Why do I have to pay taxes on something I already bought? I just think that's so weird to me. I just think that's so weird. That's so weird. If I made a profit, that's one thing. But every year having to pay property taxes when I already pay taxes to buy it. And I don't own it. I don't own the property. If I buy a property, if I buy a house, and I pay it off, I shouldn't have to pay anything on it except for maintaining it. And obviously whatever utilities that I put in there. Maybe I don't want running water. Maybe I don't want electricity. But that's my property. I should be able to do what I want with it. So I think property taxes need to be eliminated right now. They're immoral. They're, and you don't really own anything. You don't own anything, dude. You don't own your property. That's why, like, for me, when people are like, buy a property, well, yes, you can there's a lot of value in owning property for sure, and like that's the goal, to own property, but you don't really own it, and that's a problem. Also, people have made a ton of money off of buying property and renting out to other people, but there's a problem with that too, because some places, if you own property and people live there and they're squatting there, some places won't let you kick them out. So essentially you have to, it's just like the rent, when they abolished rent for a couple of years, the government, people who own the property still have to maintain the property. So if there's a problem with the furnace, they can't get heat anymore. Well, do the people who are renting the property have to buy a new furnace? No, it's the person who owns the property. They have to maintain it. If a window breaks, I mean, unless they prove that it was from the renter, they have to pay it. So, like, there's a lot of responsibility. And also the property taxes. Guess who has to pay the property taxes? The owner. So, you know, when the government does that and say you don't have to pay rent, well, I still have to pay the mortgage on the property if I'm the owner, and I still have to pay the property taxes, and I'm relying on this person, their rent, to pay the mortgage, to pay the property taxes, to pay for maintenance on the building, but they're not giving me any more income, and you tied my hands. So the government already did this, so they can do it again. You're taking a big risk. And if somebody squats on your property and you want to get them out, like, the only way to get them out is just burn the place down. And then if you, and collect the insurance. And that's illegal as hell. That you go to prison for that. But that's the only way to get some of these people out in these different places. So it's like, it's highly risky. That's not something that I even want to think about doing, like renting out to people. I don't want to even think about investing in property and renting out to people, like, considering what the government just did. Or there's certain places that, you know, I actually own the property and I can't get these people off of my property, and it's like they own the property basically now, and there's nothing, and I take all responsibility, and they don't. It's just ridiculous to how some places are here in America. And like what the government overreach, and that's my problem, is the government overreach is just insane. They need to be small. It needs to be local, it needs to be small, and the federal government is just too big, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And you know what that's going to do? It's going to lead to communism, which communism has never worked. I don't have any reason to work hard unless you put a gun to my head. That's the only way. It's either work. You might as well be in some kind of work camp, a death work camp. It's like you either work or we're gonna kill you. That's the only way, because there's no incentive for me to work hard. Why am I going to work hard if this person is working way less than me? And what I'm saying is, like, I have to gain knowledge in these different skills to do this job, to work on this rocket. And this person just cleaning the toilets, and we make the same amount of money. So I'm just doing it for the state. And this is, communism creates stagflation, not stagflation, causes stagnant, causes like innovation to be stagnant. That's what it does. And that's what we're headed towards. I am not like an anarchist, and I don't believe that we shouldn't be paying any taxes. I think that taxes should be like, definitely our roads should be taken care of. Like, I agree with that. Fire department, privatizing fire departments is really dumb. So like, if I pay for my house to, you know, be protected by the fire department, and this person next door to me that didn't pay, so they'll just let that house burn down, you know, and then like it could catch mine on fire. So like, it doesn't work very well, privatizing the fire department. But there's like essential things that the government, you know, we need to have tax for, like defense, like protecting ourselves from other countries, foreign invaders. That definitely, our tax dollars should go to that. But we need less government. We need to have people. What we need is people going to work. Okay. We need somebody to stay home with the kids. We need not both people having to work to be able to survive, to pay for your family. We need welfare extremely limited. I think that old people, we need to set up something where old people are taken care of, without euthanizing them. And like kids need to be taken care of, because what happens if two people have a kid, both the parents both die, and let's just say they hypothetically don't have any family that can take care of that kid. Well, somebody's got to take care of that kid. So obviously, like, things like this, protecting our borders and stuff like that, but the welfare thing is huge. That's a huge drain on our finances, the welfare thing, and just paying people to not work. So we need to have good jobs that pay people right. So we can have we need nuclear families, man. That's what we need. We don't need the hookup culture. The hookup culture is toxic. We need an environment where people want to have families, so like, people on the right are complaining about people not having kids. Well, this environment isn't set up very well for people to want to have kids. How we're going to get there is pain and suffering. So maybe we're going to have to go through communism, and it's going to fail. It's going to fail bad, like it always has. It never works. It's not natural. It's a nice thing to think about. Like, that would be great if we lived in fairy tale land, but in reality, humans aren't. It's not natural for humans. We take care of people around us. We're incentivized to take care of people around us, not to take care of the whole thing as a whole. You know what I mean? So.